Hey. They don't spook as easily as their bigger brother did back there. Interesting. Hey guys, so I'm doing a little bit of spring cleaning. I got everything pulled out. Everything pulled out of my crawl space here. Because we're leaving in a couple weeks, so I wanted to get stuff done. And I went and got these little water detectors, and I'm going to install them while I'm under here. So I'm going to take this panel off, but I noticed I'm already a little late because when I was pulling stuff out, I noticed I got a little bit of some water mark right here, and some of the stuff I pulled out was a little bit damp. So I looked up and it looks like I got a slow leak coming off my blue water line right here. You can see the little bit of a water mark. When I came in here, there was just a little bit of a drip right there. So once I'm done in here installing the water meters, I'm gonna go up, and it's probably just these things get loose sometimes, the hot and cold water right underneath the sink. So I'm gonna check out underneath the sink when I'm done here and see where that little drip of water is coming from. But that's what I'm doing right now. Should have installed those earlier. What I might do here eventually is install, I've seen a couple of people do it, like a door hinge right here, and have these connected to the hinge and just put a little clasp. That way you just clasp it and swivel this thing right open. Yeah, got some water down here too that's looks like it's probably been kind of flowing under. Let me get a rag. I'll show you. So some of the water that was obviously dripping down here is kind of puddled up a little bit under here. It looks like what's happening is it's not coming out a lot because it's pooling up and then drying. I'm also opening this up just to check everything back here. I'm gonna check the piping over here where the shower is. I'm just checking everything to make sure there's no leaks other than this one that I just found. And then I'm gonna install these little sensors down here. From what it looks like, I don't have anything leaking that I can tell. I don't see any standing water anywhere. I don't see any more water marks where things could have leaked. Lenny is actually in the shower right now, so that's good, because the best way to find a leak is to have everything running. So it looks like everything's good in here. So I'm going to figure out where to place these sensors, and then I'll show that to you. So I got the Govee leak detectors installed, and it's pretty simple. You plug that in inside so that the router, I plugged it out here first just to see if it would work, but it wouldn't reach the router, so it wouldn't connect. But you have to download the app, the Govee Home app on your phone, and then you plug the router in inside. I put it inside in the kitchen underneath the cabinet, and connected it to the router. Everything was easy. That was seamless. It automatically pairs. These three sensors are automatically paired to the gateway. So as soon as I turned the gateway on, the sensors showed up in my phone app. So then I went ahead and tested one of them, put it under some water. I mean, because I have this drip right here that I was telling you about coming from right here, and it's dripped down onto the this piece here, like a couple drops, like it's just moist right there from like a couple drops, because I had Lenny run the sink, and that's when it would start coming. So it only happens when the sink's running. But I set the sensor over top of this, and it automatically started going off. So they work really well. So I put one back here in the corner, and the thing is they don't mount. So you gotta consider while you're moving around, these things could slide around. So you can either remove them when you're traveling and put them back when you're still, or what I'm doing is I just got one out of that corner, so it can't really go far. I got that one kind of wedged underneath the line, so that one's not really going to go far. But I'll check them again once we stop. And then I got that one back there kind of wedged in. Because what I really don't want to happen is for it to fall down in there. That would be bad. So, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep these here. I think I might remove them and set them back once we're stationary again, just because I don't want them bouncing around in here and travel. But these two, I'm pretty sure they're not going to make it there. That one, if it slides back this way, it could end up inside there. So I might end up moving that one or taking it out.
Come on!
Alright, so I'm on the floor of my bathroom, and that little leak that I showed you from underneath, this is where it's coming from. This is under the sink in the bathroom, and it's my blue line right here. I just turned the water on and a little bit of water. So this just needs to be tightened, which I've actually had to tighten these on my other rig too, so it seems like they don't ever fully tighten them. So I should just be able to tighten that up a little bit, be good to go. And I'm gonna run the water and see if it still is leaking. Got the cold water running. Make sure there's no leaks anywhere else. Not getting any more water there. Sure the hot water is not leaking either. Nothing coming off the hot water. It seems to have done it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take one of those leak detectors. I'm going to put it in here. Now we've got one in here and then two down below. So if this thing starts leaking again, I'll know it. That's it. Simple fix.
Trying to be funny.
Ruckus, what are you doing, Ruckus?
Watching TV.
Would you like to look at me
He
now?
sees the
Sees
little
the monkey.
monkey.
Well,
He sees the
you've acquired a
monkey.
reputation. A reputation for stirring up trouble.
Hey guys, so I'm in the crawl space of my rig. I installed these Govee water sensors. Got one there, one there. Oh, and I got one up in the bathroom because we did have some water that was pooling up under here. And I don't know where it's coming from, but it's not often. So twice I've gotten a notification. Well, after I installed the Govees, I got a notification on my phone. I didn't hear an alarm go off because this does sound an alarm. But I got a notification on my phone also that I had a water leak, and I opened it up down here, and there was a little bit of water down here in that corner. And I felt all of these. I didn't feel any water coming out of any of them. I didn't feel any dampness, so I didn't know what the heck. I mean, obviously it came from there somewhere, but couldn't figure it out. So cleaned it all up, put the sensor back in place, and then this was like a week or two ago. Nothing since. And that was at like 2 or midnight. So then last night, I think it was around 11 o'clock ish, we started hearing an alarm go off while we were watching TV in the bedroom. So I came down here and the water was pulled up again under here and in that corner, but it was obviously that it was splashing, so it was dripping obviously from somewhere up here. And I felt around and I believe it's coming from here, which water comes in here, goes back out through the filter that sits out there inside the little bay, and then comes back up through here. And none of that really matters. What matters is Lenny's in the shower, so I'm sitting back here waiting to see if I'm going to get any type of drippage, because for some reason it doesn't happen that often. So I'm wondering if it's something to do with pressure, water pressure, I'm guessing, maybe at the park that you're at, if the system pressurizes once in a while, I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, when that happens, I'm getting some type of leaking that's happening from one of these pipes up here. That's where I'm at for right now. I'm getting a periodic leak every once in a while, and it's not a big leak. If I start seeing this drip, I'll turn the camera back on. So, got everything moved out of here that I need to get out. So you see this sawdust, whatever, it comes out during travel from all your little holes up in the crawl spaces. It just comes out, so you got to keep vacuuming in here. But I put some hinges on the clasp. That way, it's easy to just open this up, slide it over, and it stays attached. Don't have to worry about it falling on me. So, alright, so last time we talked, we were having that water leak issue when we put the sensors in. So I think the problem is fixed. I ended up tightening down all of the fittings back there, and I don't think it's leaking anymore. So you remember I had 3 sensors, and I had put all 3 in here originally, but then I took one from this back corner and I put it up in the bathroom. The other thing that had occurred is during one of those times where the leak happened, and that one sensor, one of my sensors got really wet, the one that was back here in this corner, that one got really wet and it wouldn't stop going off. So I had taken apart the battery, left it off for a while. Eventually, when I plugged the battery back in, it wasn't going off. So I was like, okay, but I ended up just leaving it in the drawer because it was right before we moved locations. While we were in the process of moving, when we got to our new spot, we heard an alarm going off, and I thought it was back here, so I pulled everything out. Get back here, I don't see a leak, but the alarm's going off. I only have one sensor back here now, and I forget that I had one in the bathroom, but I also forgot that I took the one out of here that wasn't working and had it in the drawer, so I think it fell down into the belly of the rig. Lenny and I are both kind of like frustrated because it's just beeping and beeping, and I'm like, there's no way I can get it. About 10 minutes later, I was up in the kitchen and you can hear the beep louder. I'm like, what the heck? It sounds like it's under the stairs, and I happened to open up the drawer, and there it is, the one that I thought was broke and that I thought was dry had just started going off for no reason. So I got rid of the sensors. I tightened everything up in the panel here. I tightened all those fittings up. It's been a couple weeks now, and it looks like we don't have any leaks. So I think one of these was just loose, just needed to be tightened a little bit, and I'm pretty sure it was this one right here because that's the one that I tightened the most. No leaks since then, so I guess that was it. When you get these new rigs, or any rig, probably be a good practice to just get inside, tighten up all your fittings. Obviously you don't want to over tighten anything, but just kind of tighten up all your fittings, because like I said, even in my last rig we had leaks in the bathroom, in the kitchen, and it was just from those things being loose. So that would be a good practice, is to go in there and tighten up all your fittings. It's just so you don't have water problems. The sensors, I ditched them. That one stopped working good when it got wet. They did sense water good, but I would like to have something that you can manually shut off with your phone, so the beeping stops at least while you're trying to get everything out of here and figure out where the leak is. That's it, leak's fixed. I do check back here every once in a while just to see if there's any type of watermarks, but there's nothing, so I'm pretty sure that was it. And I still don't know why it was doing it, and maybe you guys can tell me, leave a comment, you know, is it a water pressure thing? Why was it happening between like 11 and 2 a.m. just randomly? And again, thank you guys for the support. We really appreciate it. Please give us a subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, and we will see you next week. We're actually going to be leaving Florida and starting our season 2, because I kind of figured season 1 would always end with our stay, or our winter stay in Florida, and so then season 2 is when we'll start travel again. In season 2 we will be going up to New England, so it's going to be fun. Next week's video, leaving Ocala, heading up to New England. Can't wait to see you there, guys. Have a good day.